Shit about that time. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 15 of Cast Strength with your favorite professionals. I'm Vito.
Cheers. Is it episode 15? Wow.
It's episode 15.
We stuck with it that long.
Yeah. But you have to think about it also that it's 15, but it's been way more than 15 weeks because we've switched to the double.
That's true.
So maybe say 30 weeks.
I am shocked. Good. Wait. Yeah. Good. Well done. Well done, us.
Good job, us.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time, really.
Right.
All right. So, yeah. I mean, it happened from time to time.
We're getting at least 2.5% better every time, I think. At least.
That's a good estimation. I'll stand behind that one.
So they're saying they can't hear you, Brad. Yeah.
I mean, we were on time at least, right?
So who we got in the chat? I saw Esmax in there. I said 15, 3 more, and we'll be legal.
Where are you from?
Well, I don't think he means what. Well, maybe he means legal to drink. Isn't he not? He's not from the States or anything, is he?
No.
No.
Well, I guess if he isn't from the States, then he's correct because the States are just weird with laws.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's got straight state-controlled liquor stores.
Can you hear Brad? As Max from Mississippi.
Fantastic. Well, who else we got in here? I saw Whiskey and Barbecue. That's my friend Ryan. That's he just put out a video, like an hour and a half ago, something like that. Just came out in which they talked about the Whiskey Tribe meetup a little bit that his buddy Chaos attended.
And they were drinking Speyburn, right?
Speyburn 10.
Speyburn
right.
10. Yeah, I just watched that as well earlier.
It is a hilarious episode. I would highly recommend you go check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Chaos has the best description of Speyburn 10.
Steve A's in the chat. John V. Dan, Mike. Our lovely moderators are all three of them are in tonight. We have Gretchen, Jeremy, and Christina.
Triple the mod action.
Mod action. Oh boy.
I mean, it is a hot 3-way tonight, right?
Testy test.
Also, I am sick tonight.
There's Brad. Okay.
If I cough and sneeze, I apologize.
Who else we got? Whiskey Crusaders. That is Matt Zetrick from up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Did you just start this channel?
Yeah. They got a couple of videos out. They just did what was it? Glenlivet, Founders Reserve, and the 12-year-old, I believe it was.
Uh-oh, we're echoing
And
now.
now they're echoing. Okay, how about this? Let's try this. Is this working? Maybe. Let's talk.
Talk?
Saying words and stuff and things. Hopefully. It doesn't sound like we're in a damn canyon.
I sound perfect now.
All right.
But everyone seems good. Okay, good.
Brad pushed some mystery buttons on his
YouTube.
end, and we have no idea what's going on, but apparently it fixed it.
You know what I did? I muted
so.
a mic and then unmuted it. That's computers.
Awesome.
Can't trust him, man. You can't trust him.
What's everyone in the chat drinking? List the sound off. Make me jealous.
I have right now the Balcones Hechiceros, which is their 10th anniversary single malt, finished in port casks at 61.5%, and it is magnificent stuff. And Brad, I believe.
I'm drinking the same thing, possibly out of that same bottle or a different. I'm not sure.
Same bottle,
it's a sample from that same bottle, and I am drinking it in a Garrison's Glencairn though, so I don't know if I'm going to get arrested for that.
It's cursed now. That's what happens when you do that.
Well,
I hate you both.
We have Dan Dewberry in the chat. What's up, Dan? Local hero to me in Austin. And who else?
Maria's in.
Maria.
Maria. Where's Mitch tonight?
Yeah.
We miss our Weddle.
I do miss the Weddle.
Yeah.
I tagged
more
Weddle the
Weddle.
other day. Who else we have?
Eric Waite.
Eric Waite. How are you, sir? Good to see you. So what are you drinking on there, Vito? With your allegedly you're sick.
I am sick.
Allegedly.
So I figured that this was a perfect opportunity, since we're having a stream tonight, to whip out my new mug that I got from Brad.
Yep, just whip it right out.
Day drinking from a mug to keep things professional.
I like it.
And you guess this is how ridiculous my mind works. So this mug is double-sided, right? So it's got this text on one side and the other. So I'm showing everyone the glass, and instead of reading from the back of the label, I'm reading it. And that's why I was hesitating. I was like, day drinking, instead of reading from the damn back of the glass. Unbelievable.
I mean, as you get older, your brain doesn't work quite as well. You get a little slower.
I've been 30 for 5 days, and I'm already falling apart.
It's already going downhill, man. It's already going downhill.
All downhill from here, man.
Oh my God.
I saw Eric Waite in the chat said he's going up to Iron Root Republic on April 7th. That's awesome, man. That's fantastic.
My buddy Rob from Whiskey and the Six joined the chat. What's going on, dude? Jeffrey Petrona, I am not drunk, although I did put some whiskey in this mug.
So I'm saying I'm still getting some echo on me. I'm going to try. This is a brand new computer that I just installed Skype about 20 minutes ago. So
thank you, Rob.
I'm going to try and turn down the mic a little bit maybe and see if that helps things. We'll see what happens.
Eric Waite, when I was your age, disco was the most popular music. I love disco. I'm down.
Do you though?
I do.
Do you?
Everybody does a little bit.
I mean, if disco comes on, do you change it?
I don't know. I'm kind of one of those guys. Like I don't even have Spotify or anything like that. I'm too much of a control freak over what I'm listening to. Like I can't just leave it up to like Pandora or Spotify. And I know you can go in there and pick your own stuff too, right? But I have this music collection I've amassed over years and years and years. Did you know I used to work at a old school like music store where they sold CDs and records and things back in the day?
Crazy.
Jeez. Which was
back in the dark ages.
Which totally is like not a thing anymore, basically.
Physical media,
right? Yeah.
But if disco comes on, I'll listen to it. Like, ask me to name any disco band, I wouldn't be able to. But if a song comes on, I'm gonna rock out to it.
Awesome.
You don't want to see me drunk in a disco with disco music playing.
Yes, I do.
I turned into John Travolta.
Perfect. We need video evidence of that.
So I saw earlier that Maria, she noticed the name of today's stream was a hot three-way. And then we made reference to Vito whipping it out. So,
oh God.
She's not sure what she got herself in for. We'd like to stay on YouTube, I think, and not just get shut down and kicked off. So
we have a stealth record so far. So
we've been barely keeping it together so far.
Oscar's in the chat, and with that, I think we're gonna go and talk about some fun stuff.
Let's do it.
Okay.
What new bottles? We're gonna introduce a new thing that we're gonna talk about occasionally. New bottles that we've picked up in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And this week was exceptionally heavy in new whiskeys. So
it really was.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks, especially. So it was recently, as you mentioned earlier, Vito's birthday, and he reaped some serious whiskey rewards.
I did. I have a lot of people to thank.
Yeah. So, what'd you get there? Tell the people what the generosity of your whiskey family, what benefits you have reaped from them.
So, I received a Writer's Tears Redhead from the Galladay.
What else? Of course, I was going through the super weird LCBO website, and I was like, oh, what should I get? What should I get? And Brad generously went and picked that up for us. But once I saw that, there was no other choice.
Yeah, thank you so much. We did open it up and try it, but I don't think either of us remember that. Doing that. I remember pouring it, but I don't remember tasting it. So when I'm not sick, I'm definitely gonna get a review out of that. So that's something to look forward to. Brad brought over a Canadian whiskey, of course, but not a shit one. Gooderham and Worts 4-grain, bottled at 44.4%, which I didn't realize until me and Brad were talking about it. I was like, oh, 44.4%.
It's all fours.
That's kind of weird. And he's like, yeah, 4-grain with 44.4%. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Oh, clever.
I'm sure that's we're gonna assuming that he's right. That's why they did it. But
I mean, it's got to be. If it's not on purpose, someone there is claiming that it was definitely on purpose. Anyway, like it's not. Had to have been on purpose.
And for myself, I'm gonna save 2 bottles for last because of the story behind it. Am I allowed to tell the story, Brad? Yeah, I can
you can tell the story. Yeah. Sure.
So for myself, for my 30th birthday, I picked up a bottle of Glengoyne 21.
Oh,
very nice.
It's absolutely fantastic. I had it at Josh's the first time that I was in Austin and fell in love with it, and I've been saving to pick it up. And I finally did, and we put a bit of a dent in it too. That night.
It's funny how quickly that whiskey will disappear, man.
Yeah, it was. It's stellar.
I've been hoarding the last third of my bottle because it's it vanishes too quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Lance Van Ness is in the chat.
A wild lance appeared.
The elusive mighty Lance.
Oh boy. And I also bought a bottle of Weller Antique 107 for 38 Canadian dollars. So be jealous, all you Americans that are paying like 100 plus for it.
Which is insanity.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, you can find stores that it gets snatched up pretty quick, but like Total Wine doesn't, at least around here, doesn't bother with that crazy markup trying to price gouge stuff. Like if they get 5 of them in, they disappear that day, but they're at just regular old retail price. They're cool about that. But some stores, they just go nuts.
And yeah, so I got the 2 from you guys, some for myself, and then our Canadian group of friends came over the weekend, and we had just a big mini gathering. And so they pull out a bottle. It's like, oh, we got you a birthday gift. I was like, oh, you shouldn't have whatever, all that. And they're like, yeah, here you go. So I opened it up. It's a bottle of Glendronach peated portwood,
which sounds amazing. I've never had that, but
and I was like, holy God Almighty, thank you guys. So I opened it up right away. I'm like, I need to try this right now. But it was already opened up, and they were like, oh, Brad needed to take a sample first for a video idea that he has. And me being like, just like whatever, Brad, I don't care. Like Brad can do whatever he wants in my house. I was like, okay, oh cool, no problem. So I proceeded to pour. So I pull the Glencairn up and I start smelling it, and I'm going, my heart immediately drops. First of all, because I was like, did this go bad? I was like, holy shit! Like this smells like Canadian mist. Like this is impossible. Like this is impossible. I said, they would not do this to me today. I was like, trying to find out like where's the port, and then Brad's like, because I said I think the bottle went bad, and Brad's like, no, he's like, don't you, like, you've had whiskeys before where it's like you don't smell nothing on the smell and it's all in the taste.
Yeah, I brought up the Ardbeg Renaissance, which doesn't smell like anything until you taste it.
That makes complete sense. No worries. Okay, yeah,
that's just evil.
I drink it, and I was like, Jesus Christ, it's Canadian Mist.
Inaccurate. Not true.
Inaccurate, not true. Instead, it was a bottle of Alberta Premium.
Is that even worse?
I don't know. I got it. I actually, Ed's in the chat. Ed, which is worse, Alberta Premium or Canadian Mist? Because I'm sure you've had both now.
Has Ed had it on the channel? Maybe, probably.
I'm not sure if he's had Alberta Premium.
He's
If
got
not,
a new.
he's going to have some.
Yeah,
he's got a new bracket thing going on. What was it called?
March
Badness.
Yeah, March Badness.
It's awesome.
Yeah, so our buddy Dave expertly cleaned out both bottles, extruded the fluids, cleaned out the bottles, flushed them out properly, and then refilled them. So now I have Alberta Premium in this glorious Glendronach bottle, and Glendronach in an Alberta Premium bottle. Someone's gonna reach for it, or I'm gonna reach for it and completely forget, and it's just gonna not be fun.
The best part is it wasn't even really me. I just came in after the fact. They brought me in like
He knew nothing about it
for ideas on how to sell it because they had to unseal the bottles to switch them. So I was just like, just take a little bit extra and tell him that I took some. He won't give a crap. Like he won't think twice about it.
I never.
It's the details that sell it.
So I didn't even have to do it. It wasn't. I was just brought in afterwards as a brainstorming helper.
But
that's astounding. Yeah, I mean, I would have thought that you were the mastermind behind that whole deal.
Yep. No, my revenge is still to come. I gave him a pass for his birthday, and then I found out that this was going on.
That's awesome.
So that's my the last 2 weeks of new whiskeys that I have that there will be reviews coming out of.
Nice. I have 4 here that were really in the last 2 weeks. Although I did pick up a Glenmorangie Signet, but I think I'm going to save that for when I do the sommelier class. Going to bring that along. But the first one I've got here is a Elijah Craig store pick that was pretty cool. Just a kind of single barrel from Oak Liquor Cabinet, and talking to the guys at Oak Liquor Cabinet about doing something kind of cool here pretty soon. Hopefully, if it all works out. So
cool.
We'll have more to come on that. But yeah, they give you the barrel entry proof on here, which was kind of confusing. I saw pictures of this on Facebook, and it says barrel proof 135.5. And I was like, oh man, you guys have a store pick barrel proof Elijah Craig? That's pretty cool. And then look at the front of it. No, that was the barrel entry proof. It's actually just the regular 94, but still pretty good. And it was only the cool thing about these guys, the Oak Liquor Cabinet guys, is they do a ton of store picks and generally don't charge hard. Sometimes they don't charge any more than the regular release of it. And sometimes maybe it might be like $5 more or something like that. Not much.
They're magnificent.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. So snagged one of those from those guys. The next one I picked up, of course, the one everybody's after right now, is the old Red Spot. So Red Spot's 15 years old, bourbon, sherry, and marsala cask matured and 46%. I gotta say, and I saw Robert Licorice from Iron Root in the chat here. I think he tried it for the first time and was a little not too sure if he liked it better than Green Spot or Yellow Spot. So I kind of feel the same way. Although I'm going to give it a chance. Maybe it just needs to open up. I'm not sure, right? Like sometimes that happens. I find that happens with Green Spot. I don't know about you guys, but the first couple of pours out of it just don't really do it for me, and then it really kind of comes alive, as the bottle opens up. So we'll see. Maybe I'll pour a little bit of that in a bit because it's now been open for about a week or so.
Yeah, it's just weird because the neck pour is always tricky, which I found out with the Killiman last week that I opened up. Right, it's like it just needs more time, which I'm not too sure if I ever want to do more neck pours on reviews. I was thinking about that this weekend.
It can be deceptive sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very different from when you get a little bit down.
Right. I do have another Irish whiskey that I haven't seen Patrick Cohn in the chat yet. He may not be in tonight, but he came to Austin not too long ago and is coming back sometime pretty soon to come hang out. But he had this Glendola, I don't know. Glendula.
Sure.
I think it's Glendula, actually. I don't know. But anyway, 13-year-old Irish whiskey that is Mizunara oak finished single malt. So that's finished in Japanese oak barrels, which was easily the most unique, like surprising Irish whiskey I think I've ever had. Just really, really different. It has this like super floral, citrusy, fruity kind of thing to on top of what you would normally expect with Irish whiskey. And I was just really, really impressed with that. So Patrick had brought a sample of that to Austin. I got to try some, really enjoyed it. This was actually an anniversary gift from Gretchen. So thank you again. She had to order this from, was it Belgium or something like that? It came from Europe.
Something like that.
So like the shipping cost more than the actual bottle, or cost almost as much as the bottle itself, but it's something that's super hard to find around here. So she got it from a website in Europe, and super, super cool present there.
Good job, Gretchen.
And the last thing I picked up, which I went looking for the red spot and saw it on the Total Wine counter, right? And I was like, oh, red spot. Grabbed it, and it was like not focused on anything else, and just kind of walked around the store looking around and said, no, I'm just going to leave with this today. I'm literally standing in the checkout line, and I kind of glance over and I see this sitting like right next to where the red spot was. Yeah. I'm like, oh, is that Nika from the barrel? I've only had that like twice before, and it was amazing. And I'm not normally that much of a Japanese whiskey guy, but this stuff's fantastic.
It is very tasty. And compared to the size of the bottle that most people get, that's a huge bottle.
This is actually the 750 milliliter size. I don't know if everybody can see that, but there it is. So I quickly hopped out of line and went and snagged this. And again, like I was saying earlier, Total Wines tends to be pretty cool about, this was just regular price, red spot's regular price. It was like $99, and like this was $79, I want to say. So just lucked out that day. I walked in like right place, right time.
Yeah, that's tasty. I have some, but it's the 500, so it's just a little itty bitty.
Right. And in fact, actually, the last time I had Nika from the barrel was at Ryan Whiskey and Barbecue's place. We killed the last little bit of his bottle that he had. So I think I owe him some of this in return. What about you, Brad? Did you make any? I don't remember if you telling me if you had any good pickups recently.
Not that I have my hands on yet. I did actually order some a few days ago, but they haven't showed up yet.
Oh, see, yeah, you can just have them delivered to your door generally. Like
generally, now the selection isn't nearly as good, but what's available could usually be delivered right to you.
Do you have a LCBO near you, like your last place?
There's one like probably 5 minutes down the road. Yeah.
Okay, so not that bad.
Robert made a good point, and I don't know the answer as to whether this is actually Japanese whiskey or not, because Japanese whiskey laws, I don't know that much about them, but from what I've heard, it's you can label things Japanese whiskey that weren't actually even made in Japan at all. They were just sourced by a Japanese company, and they just label it Japanese whiskey.
I believe that Nika from the barrel is actually Japanese, from what I remember, but I'm not.
I think so. Yeah, I'm not totally sure.
It's one of the main ones that generally is actually Japanese.
Yeah,
like Hibiki, like most of the Hibiki stuff is actually Japanese.
Yeah, and I believe
there's
like
a whole bunch
of
there's a bunch that a lot of their expressions are not necessarily from Japan, really, other than being blended there.
Right, right. And there's been all this news floating around about Japanese whiskey shortages and lots of things being discontinued and whatnot. I actually read the article that's been floating around from, like, was it Forbes or something?
Yeah, I think it was Forbes.
Yeah, that it wasn't quite fully accurate from what I heard, that the things that were being discontinued, at least on a temporary basis, were pretty much for the Japanese market only, not a worldwide thing. But I don't know. That's just kind of what I read this afternoon as I was looking into it out of curiosity. But
It's so strange how a lot of countries export more than they'll keep for their own market.
yeah, exactly. They're also doing that. There's a new one. I don't know. It's AO. I don't know how you say that in Japanese, but where it's the blend from whiskey regions around the world that somebody, I forget if it was Suntory or something like that. One of those Japanese whiskey companies put together that sort of global blend, that's super cool concept. I can get on board with that.
I'm almost positive AO in Japanese is pronounced Ao, and it's king.
Oh, okay. Look at you with all, what is that? All the anime?
Yeah, it's definitely.
That explains it.
No, AO is blue and green, so blue skies and green traffic lights. So, like, I guess, like, Earth would be green. Green, blue, like blue marble, probably. What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Maybe it's spelled AU or something.
You should have just, while I was still impressed with some Japanese knowledge, you should have just left me believing you.
You gotta learn when to shut up, man. Let people think you know what you're talking about. That's my strategy.
Yeah. So it's apparently they're cutting back from supply of certain whiskeys to certain markets in order to supply others. I mean, there's still just supposedly a shortage of at least, especially like the age statement whiskeys and stuff like that, the sought after Japanese stuff. I remember back in the day, like before I was even really a whiskey nerd, I used to get Yamazaki 12 for like $50, and it was just always in the store. And I didn't really know anything about whiskey, or like, I just knew that one I had somewhere sometime and I liked it. Right. And now it's just, if you find it in a store, it's going to be over twice that price. So.
I don't know how helpful that's going to be to three nerdy white guys, Eric, but he's putting the symbol of what AO means in the chat.
And what's the
AO is blue, directly translated.
Blue.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Actually, I come to think of it, I know what green is in Japanese. It's midori, right? Like the liqueur, midori.
Yeah.
If you say so.
Like neon green color. That's like melon liqueur. Gretchen used to drink that stuff back in the day. So we have big things going up this weekend. It's Texas Independence Day on Saturday. So all the
part of something.
No,
I'm just as a naive Canadian, but you're not completely independent, right?
No, it's it's just.
I understand the history behind it. It's weird to hear it. It's like whenever if you don't know, when you say, "Oh, Texas Independence Day," it's like, well, wait, the United States, like what?
Right. It's one of those Texas things, right? But all the distilleries are doing all the things. Gretchen and I are going up to the Balcones event. They're just, they're releasing a new Texas pot still bourbon, which is pretty cool. They're going to be pouring some taste of their new cast strength rye for this year. Bands, food, cocktails, all that kind of stuff. There's things going on at like Ben Milam is having Heather Green come in there and do an event, which I'm Like if we weren't already like committed and to going to Balcones, I'd have gone to that. That'd have been pretty awesome. Garrison Brothers is doing a thing, I think downtown. They're having an event. Ranger Creek in San Antonio is doing a thing. Yeah, there's loads and loads of stuff going on Saturday.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So jealous.
Yeah, there's not usually a ton of whiskey stuff going on around here. Sadly.
Yeah.
Every once in a while there'll be something in Toronto, but not a ton.
Since I think I saw Iron Root was doing a thing as well. Maybe Robert can confirm or deny that, but I think I saw that sometime during the week. But I'm sure they're probably doing a thing on Saturday also. On Sunday, we're actually going out to Andalusia as well. Going to spend some time out there, hopefully shooting some video and seeing some cool stuff with Ty Phelps over there.
Ooh.
Busy. Nice.
Yeah, so we had a funny conversation because they have a bunch of sugar cane that they're going to put into a, what did he call it? Some kind of sugar cane machine. I don't know what handles the sugar cane, but he said I'll sign you up. I'll sign you up for a shift on the cane juicer. I was like, man, you think I can handle a cane juicer? I can barely figure out how to work this camera over here, man. But yeah, they're doing sugar cane. It must be making a rum, right?
I would imagine, yeah, or something. Yeah, don't lose a hand to.
Right.
If you're gonna lose a hand, which hand would you lose?
I mean, left, I guess. Right?
Yeah. If you're right-handed.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, we have that coming up. Oh, and you know what tomorrow is?
Oh shit.
What's
Tomorrow it's the Twin Liquors $1 sale.
Explain.
I hate you again. I still hate you continuously.
Explain this to me, because I just want to hate myself some more, and explain this to some people in the chat who don't know what that is.
Twin Liquors, local Texas liquor store chain. I generally, most of the time, besides like my handful of mom and pop stores I like to go to, I go to Total Wine and I go to Specs most of the time. Twin Liquors, a lot of their stores have just kind of a selection of staples. Like they don't have too much that's really that interesting or rare or anything like that, right? But if you go to any of their bigger stores, you can find some cool stuff. And I want to say twice a year they come up on their time to take inventory or whatever it is, and they mark everything in the store down to their cost plus $1.
Amazing.
So you can go in there and all this stuff that generally Twin Liquors will be on a lot of things like just a little bit more expensive than your average. But this time of year it's time to just go stock up there because they'll have crazy deals.
Do you take the day off work?
Oh no. I'll just, they open at 10, so I'll leave work at like 9:30 because I have a doctor's appointment. I got Vito made me sick on the live stream.
I'm sorry.
Vito made you sick on the live stream. That would be a good doctor's note right there.
I coughed into the mic and it went into
it traveled through the internet. Came
Got a
out
YouTube virus.
It's science. Home. Like that's how science works. So.
That's right. So yeah,
a computer
I don't know what I'm going to find. Right. I don't really have anything in mind, in particular. Sometimes I'll go in there and, maybe you find something that was expensive and you didn't want to spend the money on it, but it's marked down enough that, it makes more sense to get it now. Right. Or other times you just walk in, I don't know, holy crap, Green Spot is $35, right? Stock up on that stuff is going to be good and you're getting an amazing price. So we'll see. We'll see what we come up with. It runs for a few days too.
Son of a bitch. We've missed something. I just looked at the chat.
What's that?
Brad.
Yes.
Pull them out now.
They're here. They're right here. My punishments are sitting beside me.
We haven't talked about it yet.
Oh, it's not too late.
It's
We stopped
sadly
halfway.
it's not too late.
So
See-
you're just gonna have to do it all in a more condensed period of time.
That's fine and also worse. I can't decide if that's good or bad, but whatever, that's fine.
Let's find out. So for everyone that is new that has been watching the live streams, about a month and a half ago or so at this point.
Yeah, whatever the
Something
last
like
dry week was.
Yeah, the first week of January, me and Josh came on stream and did hot sauces, much to my body's dismay.
Which I handled like a champ, and well,
You didn't have good ones. Well, Brad had conveniently suffered internet provider issues that night, so he couldn't.
It was extremely convenient.
Extremely convenient.
Losing internet for the evening.
So now is revenge time, where we're all just gonna watch Brad suffer through some hot sauce for his wrongdoings.
except for
For
me,
my wrong.
apparently, because I can't see Brad at the moment. I guess I'll have to bring up the YouTube.
You have to bring up the other.
I'll watch Brad on a time delay.
Yeah.
Make sure and mute that. There
All
we
right,
go.
so I have 3 hot sauces, and I actually have some chocolate too, which I
Chocolate's
guess
no good.
is infused with like ghost chili,
Oh, that chocolate.
like or whatever. I have no idea like what the concentration is, like how. But yeah, there's Dave's insanity sauce, sort of.
Is that the ghost pepper one, or the Dave's?
The Dave's. I don't think.
I was just curious because that's the one I had on with whiskey and barbecue.
It just says hot peppers. So
Gotcha.
I got this
It's probably Canadian
really
label.
weird looking one called Frostbite,
Yeah.
which looks like it has little tiny balls of death sitting in the bottom of it that I'm not quite sure what to think of this.
Something
The ingredients,
little tiny balls.
the ingredients are literally vinegar, water, salt, and aquaricin of capsaicin. That's it. So it's basically capsaicin juice.
That sounds horrifying.
And then I have Reaper Squeezins, which is
That's
basically just ghost peppers and Reaper peppers, I think. Ingredients, yeah, Reaper peppers, distilled vinegar, and Reaper pepper powder.
Oh,
That's
Lord.
all that's in it.
What are you
That-
gonna be drinking them out of?
I have a spoon.
I have a spoon.
well, wait. The preferred method of hot sauce delivery, I thought, was bacon.
Bacon
I
strips.
don't have any bacon.
strips.
So what am I going for? If I don't die from the first one, I'll
Do
have
Dave's
more.
first.
Mm.
Oh, excuse me 1 second.
Yeah. Whoa. Let's see what's been going while Brad's getting ready. There's lots of Dark Cove in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Robert Licorice said that he's gonna buy them all and leave none for me, and I told him that he better inventory the bottles because I'll sniff them out. Jeremy from Super Social Club's in the chat. Hey, buddy.
man.
Yeah, we have 666 subscribers right now.
Is it still holding steady at that?
We're so metal.
So very metal.
So metal right now.
Let's see on the.
Okay, so I got like a solid dab of it. That's
that's respectable.
that's
Whoa.
plenty, right? It's
Yeah,
Dave.
that's-
It's
that's-
not with the super spiciest one, so I figure that's that's all right, right? Decent punishment.
Yeah.
Try not to get it on my lips too much because I know
don't do that.
that's the problem.
John said that. Now that's a red spot.
No.
All right, that's spicy.
Uh-huh. Wait, which one was
It
that
is.
again?
The
Dave's
Dave's Insanity.
The Dave's. Okay.
Definitely spicy. At least it still has a little bit of flavor.
Talk to Lance because he said that he knows something about Dark Cove that we don't.
Ooh.
Oh, I heard from Lance already about something. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Secrets.
Dark
Everyone
Cove
pressure
things are
Lance in
happening.
chat. We need to know.
You know, what was it? 2 weeks ago, some folks came to Crowded Barrel for the first time. We were hanging out on the patio, and Kat, who we've seen a couple of times now and is becoming a regular, I think. Kat had this bottle that she brought that was no labels or anything, and she'd put a sticker on it that says, "What am I?" And which I was like, oh, you have my attention. So she was pouring it for everybody and having you try and figure out exactly what it is. So like, smell it. It's clearly like, the first thing you think is it's going to be Isla, just, from your first impression. And I actually guessed it right on the nose on the first guess. Apparently, so did Deb, and so did Emma, and like 2 other people. And the only one who didn't get it was Daniel.
Oh, yikes.
And it was Dark Cove.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my sinuses are starting to clear now.
Yeah.
They're melting.
Yeah. Don't leak too many
Progress,
fluids,
I guess.
You look really uncomfortable. I've never seen you lean into the mic.
Dan. Dan said that he just recently went out to Crowded Barrel for the first time. Yeah, cool. Glad you enjoyed it, man. It's fun.
Nice. Yeah, I've seen his name pop up a couple times here and in the tribe too.
Yep. So I am about done with this Hechaceros that I had at the very start. I've been nursing that. Out of what I have out right here, I have the Red Spot, the Glendula, the Elijah Craig, and the Nika from the Barrel. What
Elijah Craig?
The Elijah Craig. All right. What was kind of fun in the store when we went to pick this up, we had a store pick from a restaurant pick, I guess more accurately.
Not dead.
There's a place called Moonshine here, bar and grill, that does, they have a bunch of whiskey and stuff, and do picks. And somebody had brought in their Elijah Craig pick, so we got to try them side by side, and it really reinforced for me a lot of what I learned from spending time at Iron Roots, trying different barrels of the exact same thing that existed side by side, but just had different flavor profiles to them simply from different characteristics of the barrel. So this one I thought had a ton of sort of lighter and fruity or cherry type notes, whereas the other Elijah Craig barrel pick had a bunch more of those kind of dark, spicy molasses type notes to it.
People in the chat are saying I've got the most color that they've ever seen me with. Because my head is on fire.
Yeah.
So Jason said cast strength, suffering for our pleasure since 2018. I'd love to take that tag, but I just mentioned in the chat, Ed and Mike at the Rocket Review, there's no competition.
That's true.
They're
right. I mean, Ed and his father, and now Ed's girlfriend has made multiple appearances. So,
yeah.
Well, not on the Worst Whiskey Watch.
Oh, she hasn't been subjected to the torture yet.
I think for the sake of the relationship that Ed keeps her off of that one.
It's a good move.
Probably safe.
That's right. She was in the Kilhoman one, and then they did one at the festival that they went to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta say, this is a hell of a lot worse than that chip that you fed me at your house, Vito.
I think the chip is. Yeah. I think the chip just together with everything that I was having that night was way worse than normally. Like, because when I have it, it's still like it's something about the dustiness of it that it coats the back of my mouth and it's still really uncomfortable. But it's not really that hot. It's just uncomfortable to eat for me.
Have I suffered enough with this one to have a sip of water yet? good?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
I saw a question.
I wish I could lean back enough, put my feet up, like the guy from Community, and was like, "I'll allow it." And I used to have a massive sombrero.
Oh,
That would be awesome.
I saw I missed a question earlier from John about the Hecheros. That is the port cask version. The Brujeria is the sherry cask and slightly peated. So we've got Bourbon Sane in the chat.
So I guess we could talk about it, right? Yeah. So it's a week away.
Sure.
Okay. So so we had this kind of idea, because we're only on live once every other week, that it would be kind of a cool idea to sort of try and fill in every other blank Wednesday night that we're not doing this. So what we're going to try to do on occasion on those off Wednesdays is to bring on a guest for like something specialized, like a shorter version of this with a proper theme. And it would be one-on-one, or Josh and Brad with someone, or either one of us with someone else. Maybe on occasion do like a big, three, like us three and another person or two. But I guess just kind of for the sake of the explanation now, is just a more condensed version of what we're doing. And next week will be the first one. We're calling it CS Plus, and we're gonna have Bourbon Sane on. And it's going to be me and him, and we're going to be drinking bourbons. He's going to teach me a thing or two. And yeah.
He's going to make you Bourbon Sane.
You know what? We're going to be, I'll talk about it. We're going to be drinking Knob Creek Single Barrel next Wednesday night. And I've never had it before. I'm going out tomorrow to pick it up.
Cool.
And we're gonna open it up together on stream, and so everyone watching now and in the replay, next Wednesday we're not going to be doing this. We're going to be doing something else, but 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Come back and watch me and Bourbon Sane go at it.
Vito's the king of the collaborations. Did you see that Knob Creek is redoing their label?
Yes, you sent that, or was it you that sent it earlier? Yeah.
I think it looks super cool. Like it's looked the same forever, and it was totally in need of a refresh. And it looks really sharp. I like what they did with it.
Yeah, it's really clean now.
Yeah, exactly. It's very classy looking instead of looking like kind of like. Before, it kind of looked like an old paper bag or something was wrapped around it, but now it's just like nice and sleek and, black. So I dig it.
Jeremy Sims in the chat just gave me an awesome idea of how to possibly neutralize this.
Oh, what was the suggestion? See, because we tried a couple of things and like nothing really worked for me and Vito. I did have
cocoa flavored soylent, sort of try to coat things a little bit, have it absorb.
Cheater.
He's saying Vito will be a bourbon guy when I'm through with him. So we'll see. We'll see if you're a total convert at the end.
You know what it is? It's one of those things where like I don't mind bourbon. Like I have a fair amount of bourbons now. What do I have? I have the Weller that I haven't opened yet, the 101, Eagle Rare, High West. Well, High West isn't really a bourbon.
Which High West? The Campfire.
Campfire.
Yeah, it's partially bourbon.
Partially bourbon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know enough about bourbon. So I'm gonna get schooled.
John V said Brad's face is reminding me of Willy Wonka. You're turning violet.
Amazing.
A little bit. I feel a little bit like that.
Eric Waite's saying in May 2019 he'll be doing Texas month, sharing video and whiskeys brought back from his trip in April. Yeah, we can do a live stream. I'm your Texas whiskey guy, man. And even if you're here, and you want to know where to go, what to pick up, what to try, just let me know. Happy to help. I haven't seen him in the chat, but I did want to just call out my friend Jason Abram that has a podcast. It's caskmatespodcast.com. You can go and check that out. They've been doing it for a little while now. I think maybe over a year now. But it's pretty cool if you want to, just sort of a casual bunch of friends hanging out, drinking and talking whiskey podcast. Go and check it out. It's caskmatespodcast.com. You finish your hot toddy over there yet?
Yeah, it's all done. By the way, I made it with Wild Turkey 101. Hot toddy. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was pretty good. I prefer the 101 by itself than in a hot toddy. But then again, this was my first hot toddy ever.
Really?
So yeah, I've never had it before. It was okay. Mind it. I just made it simple. Our friend James from Vegas gave me like this recipe earlier today, and then I ended up just doing 2 ounces of bourbon, hot water, lemon, a touch of honey, and some cinnamon.
Brad.
People are sympathizing with me in the chat already, or egging me on to go for the next sauce, which I don't know if I'm going to do today.
Are you giving up? Have some.
Oh wow!
I don't know. I'm a wimp. I'll try one of the other ones before we close.
The little balls of death.
Oh, sure. Why not?
Don't
Sure.
Don't do it if you're gonna hurt. I don't want to see you hurt.
Just a little bit. Do.
Just a little bit. Not physically. Not too much in pain. Like I know what I went through. So I just want to see you even get 10%, which I think you've hit. So
yeah,
I'll survive this, and I'll survive another one.
Mm-hmm. I think you'll be okay.
Also, I'm sorry, I forgot to, because we were talking about it. Go check out Bourbon Sane. Chris is doing cool stuff over there.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you guys watch his Valentine's Day video?
I don't think I've seen that one yet.
He was in a robe and everything.
That's amazing. Fantastic.
So go check out Chris at Burb Insane. He's in the chat. He's a good guy and he's got a good channel. So,
so I just scrolled up in my little notes here that I forgot. I saw this thing on Reddit the other day, and it made me think of Vito, so I had to write it down. Vito, you're Italian. What's the singular form of macaroni? Is it macaronis?
Macaroni?
Macaroni? Is it macarono? Macarena? What is it?
Macaroni.
Testing your Italianness.
Well, usually it would just be you drop the I, put a no, so macarono. Because spaghetti is spaghetto.
Really, like one
a single
spaghetto. Is spaghetto?
Yeah. No, it's usually it's fairly simple sometimes. I think I've never, and the only reason I know spaghetti is spaghetto is because I saw it on Reddit a couple of weeks ago too. But I'm almost positive that you would just drop the I and put the O for foods.
That makes sense. I can believe that. I saw that question asked on Reddit the other day. I was like, I have to find out if Vito knows this.
James might know. James actually went to school for culinary, so.
James. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, James.
James.
What's the singular in the spaghetto? In the spaghetto. I do a chat. I should do an episode like that, making spaghetti and just. South Park is so good. Brad, how you doing over there, bud?
I'm surviving. I'm gearing up for the next one.
Nice. Has it started to dissipate now?
Oh yeah, it's dissipated quite a bit. I can still taste it, but it's fine.
Yeah, John B has a good point. Who eats just one macarono or one spaghetto? I mean,
Weirdos.
it's like that Mitch Hedberg joke where it's like rice is great for when you're hungry and you want 1,000 of something.
Sounds about right.
James, the question is, what's the singular word for macaroni? And yes, Graham, the Glengoyne 21 is just so great.
It really
Agreed.
is.
Yeah.
That is some magical whiskey.
Making a mess everywhere. Fucking Irish cookies.
So we were talking a little bit earlier. Roy Akavite has a live stream tomorrow that I thought had a really interesting topic. Oh, James says it's macarona. I don't believe you.
Macarena?
The Macarena, yeah.
Only Austin Power people will get that.
I thought his topic was really interesting. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's live stream with him, where he was going to be talking about the concept of balance in whiskey, and it seems like he's probably in the typical Roy fashion going to do this like really eloquent and thoughtful thing of weaving it between balance in one's life and how that relates to balance in whiskey or something really wise like that, right?
Sure.
Right.
So I'm totally looking forward to that. But I thought I'd ask y'all, like, first of all, is a whiskey being balanced like something you consider when you're thinking about, do I like this? Do I love this? Do I not like it? Is balance like important to you in a whiskey?
Depends on what I'm looking for. It can be, I think. Like the example that I think we've brought up a few times in the show, at least, is like Octomore being super peaty, but they balance it out with like sweetness so that it doesn't feel harsh. You just get the intensity without the spikiness. So like in that kind of a way, like balance can be helpful, but it's not always necessarily like I'm not looking for something that it's perfectly balanced and all of the flavors. Like depends.
Yeah, some whiskeys I wouldn't necessarily characterize as being balanced per se, but I like the thing that really stands out about it, and it's not a deal breaker for me, but it's definitely something when something is in perfect balance. I think of like Kleinlich 14 as being, it's got sweetness and sourness and savory and a little bit sweet and waxy. Like there's all these things that not any element overwhelms the other. Kind of going on there. So I don't know. I've been really looking forward to that. I think it's going to make for a good, really thought-provoking live stream.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah,
after the fact, but it'll be interesting, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I look towards balance really as much as I want to taste the stereotypicalness of the region, and then something special.
Okay.
Right.
So like kind of a core and then an accent.
Like what's a good example would be the Port Charlotte MC01.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Very distinctively Isla. Right. But it's got like a weird foreign sweetness about it from the Marsala that works with everything. So I'm pleased with the selection of the region, and it's distinctive enough that it makes it worth it.
Right.
It's not. It doesn't go into every decision, but I like typically that's what I like to find. I want like an accent note in whiskeys. Whereas like I can taste that you're from the Highlands or the islands. What sets you different from everyone else?
So kind of that solid core, right? That's got its typical characteristics, and then you have other accents appearing around that.
Yeah.
No, I guess exactly what you mean.
I guess can be construed in some sort of way as like a balancing act, but I don't really think of it like that.
My example, I think, would be and I think Jason and John in the chat, and I think that might be the only folks in the chat that were there last Friday, but Carl Ivy brought this bottle of Kilhoman Madeira cask finished.
Okay.
Oh man, and that's like what you're talking about with the Port Charlotte MCL1, right? Where it's definitely what you would kind of expect with Kilhoman, but with this total other accent around it that really provides this interesting kind of contrast. And I'm not sure that I would necessarily call it balanced in the same way that I would call something like the Kleinleash balanced, but amazing, delicious.
Yeah,
fantastic
they're sounding off on it, saying how good it was. So
yeah, there's a few people like the girl Kat I was talking about earlier that was there. She sent me a message earlier this week. She's like, "What was that Kilhoman that guy had, and how can I find that?" And I'm like, "If you find that, you better let me know, because I have no idea where to get some of that." But I think that was actually the only bottle that got so much attention that it got drained. Like it was opened and then completely finished that night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds tasty.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. Yeah, and Ross said Ardbeg Ugadal. I'd put that in that category as well.
Oh yeah.
Yep. The Pete Week 14. Oh, yeah, that is fantastic. I've got a bottle of it behind me here. Excellent stuff. So what else we have?
Gretchen is yelling at me to eat hot sauce. Okay, I'll have the next hot sauce. Am I doing the clear one or the Reaper Squeezins?
I mean, I vote clear one.
Yeah, I vote clear one as well.
I guess I shake it up to try to like distribute
whatever
the hell these balls of death are. That
I want you to get a ball of death into your spoon.
Eat the balls.
They're just floating around.
Gretchen just told you to eat hot balls.
They're just floating around.
They don't mix. They're just floating around,
taunting you from within.
Eric, you still have one more day of February, unless you're.
Oh yeah, he's finishing up his Isla month.
You have one more day.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. Did he have any sort of a standout favorite from the Isla month?
I'm not too sure. He's here, so let's ask him.
Yeah. I was curious about that. If there was something that
I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera here.
There's a drop. That's a drop. Okay.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 drops in the spoon. I don't have any idea how intense. I feel like I can
hear the fear in your voice.
I mean, if the stream dies because I kick over the computer as I'm escaping to the bathroom, then just deal with it. Okay, not too bad so far. Tastes lemony.
His favorite was the Lafroig 10 cast strength. Batch 10. I need to get a bottle.
Nice. Yeah. Sniper Max saying that's
it's less hot than. Okay, maybe I need a little bit more then, or maybe I need to go to the other one. Yeah, it's spicy.
Get a hot ball of death.
Definitely spicy, but so far it's not building super fast.
It really just kind of tricks you visually, doesn't it?
Yeah, I just didn't know what to expect at all. And it's super juicy, so like I was trying not to just dump a whole bunch. Like you did in that stream where it was just like not viscous at all and just glopped out.
Yeah, it's kind of like I got something that had a big Reaper on a Grim Reaper on the front of it and a big red X and stuff. I'm like, oh, this has got to be hot. And it's like not bad at all.
Yeah, okay.
God damn it, Eric.
I mean, it's spicy, but yeah, it's not so bad. Hot balls of death.
Eric, wait. Can I even say that on stream?
This dude.
I can because I've sort of said it already. Hot balls of death. That's my porn name. God damn it.
Yikes.
I love it.
Ross, someone should have made a hot sauce Great Balls of Fire, but it's probably shit. But they trademarked the name, so it's just
Right.
lost in obscurity now. Oh, by the way, for James, he was asking before. James was the one that suggested I make that more complicated version of a hot toddy. No, I didn't make the buttered hot toddy. I just made it with.
Dude, that's really good. And it
I
sounds super weird.
Honestly,
sound weird.
I'm really lazy. So
See, my whole thing is I'm just lazy. So.
yeah.
Hey, Scotch Test Dummies are in. That's
Usually it's Scott.
I'm assuming Scott. I was sitting at my desk the other day, just so you know. These guys, they did. If you didn't catch it, you should go check it out. They did the Balcones Rye. It was like at noon in the middle of the day. They did a live stream, and I was sitting at my work computer, and it pops up like Scotch Test Dummies are live. Balcones Rye. I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm done working right now. I'm gonna have to go check that out. But yeah, it was a cool conversation. It was a cool chat going on. They busted out. It seemed like their entire Balcones collection. So they both agreed that their favorite was the Mirador. But maybe I need to send you guys a little bit of the Hechiceros, which is the port finished single malt. If you liked the
Delicious.
Yeah, if you liked the Mirador, you should like this as well. And the Brujeria is the sherry finished. I could maybe send you guys some samples of that over.
So how you feeling, Brad?
I'm all right. That one wasn't so bad. I mean, it's spicy, but it's fine. I'll go for the Reaper squeezins just to,
Cool.
to
Before you
finish
do
things
that,
off, I guess.
yeah. So we'll end with that. I want to do something that we missed. I think. No, we didn't miss it last time. But I kind of want to keep it consistent.
What's that?
The Shag, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
So out of the ones that you have, Josh, did you have 3 or 4? I forget.
I've got 4 at the moment. So it's the red spot, here.
Yep.
I've got the well, actually, I have 5, but the Balcones Hechiceros.
Okay.
The Nika from the barrel.
Okay.
The Elijah Craig store pick from Oak Liquor Cabinet, and the Glendula 13 Mizunara cask finished.
Perfect. So everyone in the chat, the first 3 whiskeys that are listed, write down one and press enter. The first 3 that are there, Josh is going to do Shag, Marry, Kill with those 3.
There you go. Oh, Dan Dewberry says he's having some Andalusia Striker right now. Love it.
Red Spot.
Okay. I'm going to pour a little bit of this Red Spot.
Yeah. And I'm not too sure. And I don't think I've seen Neck pour in the chat before. Welcome, buddy.
Yeah, welcome.
Nika.
Nika and the Glendula.
Yep, Nika and the Glendula. And yeah, so those 3. So we'll do
let me spend just a second with this Red Spot, since this is my. Actually, I had a little bit of it once before from somebody else's bottle, but this is my second pour that I've
have a glass of that.
Mm-hmm.
So while you do that, you're doing the Nika, the Red Spot, and the Glendula. Glendalough.
Glendula?
I think it's called. Someone up before had mentioned Glendalough.
Glendalough.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Where's Terry? We need Irish.
We need the Terry.
I need an Irish decoder ring.
He's gone away.
Glendalough.
Whiskey Dick's in the chat. He says Glendalough.
Glendalough. Okay.
I believe you.
He's the dictionary, so we'll go with him. Okay, so Josh is doing those 3. He'll do them in a second. I'm gonna pick 3 of the 4 of the new ones that I got, and we'll do a Shag, Marry, Kill with that. So the choices are Glengoyne 21, the Gooder Ham and Warts, and the Writer's Tears.
Okay.
So the first 3 scotch that come up on my chat will be the 3 that I'm gonna shag, marry, and kill with.
So the Gooderham and Warts,
Gooderham and Warts,
Glengoyne 21.
Glengoyne 21, and Writer's Tears Redhead. I probably shouldn't have had the Glengoyne 21 in there. I'm gonna take the Glengoyne 21 out of there. Alberta Premium, Gooderham and Warts, and Writer's Tears.
Oh, you're changing it now?
Yeah, I'm changing it, guys. I'm sorry.
Now, is it the Alberta Premium bottle or the contents?
Or what's actually in there?
Sorry, guys. I'm taking the Glengoyne 21 out because obviously I'm gonna marry that one. So the Alberta Premium, Gooderham and Warts, Writer's Tears.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I did say 4. Wild Turkey 101 is the 4th one.
Oh, because that's what was in your
It was in my toddy. So
your hot toddy.
Yeah.
All right.
The first 3.
Turkey. Gooderham. And what else? Writer's Tears.
Writer's Tears. Okay. So Gooderham 101 and Writer's Tears. I would shag the 101 because it's hot. I would marry the Writer's Tears because who doesn't love a good ginger spouse?
All right.
And just because Canada, I'm gonna kill the Gooderham and Warts. I don't know why, because of Canada, but just because.
just because. I think that I will. Oh man, I will shag the Nika because it's gonna be difficult to find. I feel like it's gonna be something I can only get every once in a while. The Glendola kind of goes down that same road, but Gretchen got it for me, so and it's a hard choice. I totally love both of them, but the Glendola was incredibly unique. And then I'd have to kill the red spot. Man, not because it's not terrible. I'm just really underwhelmed by it. So
Haven't had that yet.
Yeah, that's right. Captain Make It Happen and need a little bit of that strange.
Giggity.
Mm-hmm.
And what? Let's see. I would shag the Dave's Insanity. Marry the Frostbite since it's tolerable, but still, kind of spices things up. And I'm going to kill the Reaper Squeezins in self-defense because I have a feeling it's going to try to kill me in a second.
I was gonna say have the Reaper's Tears and then do the rating.
Yeah, have you not had any whiskey, Brad?
I had some Balcones at the beginning.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
He won't be tasting whiskey now.
Oh, I got blob on there. Is that enough? Do I need more?
That's a reasonable glob.
Yeah, I will allow it.
It's an acceptable glob.
Acceptable glob.
Isn't enough for a light schmear.
Ascoy. Oh, now it's building up. Okay.
No.
It seems to be a slow build, but it's building.
Yeah, Reapers are among the hottest, right? Like what do they use in the last dab is Pepper X.
A Pepper X, but it's a variant of the California Reaper, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I think that's right.
Yeah, because all the Pepper X's are just hybrids.
Brad really
is there 911 in Canada? Yes, there is 911 in Canada.
Christina, just drive up and tend to his wounds.
It's only like 7.5 hours from you. Just drive up.
Yeah,
that's building up. That's.
Whew. Oh, buddy.
I'm excited for this.
You're feeling some vindication now, Vito?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
One other thing I was going to ask you guys, this was the Whiskey Crusaders video as they were doing the Glenlivet. The Glenlivet 12, I think, came in a 1.75 liter. Do you guys get those up there? Like, I'm sure you must in some of the more like Jameson or that kind of
some of the whatever lower tier stuff, whatever the bar fodder whiskeys.
Right. Your lower cost things.
Yeah.
Do you ever go for those, like, to just for the sheer value of it? Like, I can't say that I've ever. Actually, no, I do have one. Come to think of it, I do have ancient age.
Right.
And it's in a plastic, nice. 1.75. But do you guys ever go for those at all? Like, or
not anymore. If I was younger, probably. Because I get like the Jameson one and just get absolutely smashed with like my buddies.
Right. Like,
oh yeah, that's building up real good now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right. James, the first time James came out here, he actually crashed at the house the night before the Crowd of Barrel opening, and I had a 1.75 of Eagle Rare for him. So that would be worthwhile. There is a infamous photo of this giant Eagle Rare.
Yes,
involving Vito. It shall remain a secret.
Yeah, it shall remain offline. maybe one day we'll treat everybody with that one there. Yeah, James has that.
How we doing, Brad? Still getting worse, or is it kind of?
I'm really glad that I'm going to kill that hot sauce in my selection. I made the right choice. Oh boy,
James, don't you dare!
It's the only one that doesn't actually taste like anything either. Like it just went from nothing to just heat with no flavors in between.
It's like the Ralph Wiggum. My mouth tastes like burning.
A little bit. Yeah. A good thing my sinuses are already clear. I could
go smell a whiskey now.
Oh geez. Oh, here. I have some Canadian Mist nearby. I might as well.
Why would you have a bottle nearby?
In case I needed something to chug.
Who was it? Donald Rance asked us if any of us have had the Glenlivet Captain's Reserve. I have not.
No, I have not.
If it's as good as the Founder's Reserve is, then it won't be good.
Doesn't smell like anything.
The Captain's Reserve must be a higher end bottling. I'm not totally familiar with exactly which one that is. I know the Founder's Reserve is kind of the budget one, right?
Yeah. Not a fan of that one.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to like make excuses for this red spot or something, but it just seems very like closed in on itself. I don't know. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a little. I thought I had a dropper over here somewhere.
Friends don't let friends Canadian Mist. That's true.
That's good advice. Yeah, I have a little dropper here. I'm just going to see, just out of curiosity, because it's 46%. So like, I wouldn't normally add water to something like this, but who knows? It may be just one that wakes up a little bit with the addition of a few drops of water. We shall see. Yeah, I agree. Ryan saying that it's like they tried too hard with the red spot, putting too many things going on, and it just sort of all shuts down on itself. It's very sort of dense, and it doesn't jump out of the glass in any way.
Yeah, I can't smell a damn thing. Not even the Heteroceros.
Which is normally a pretty like robust whiskey, right?
I think my sinuses are just melted currently, so they're not working very well.
So Donald Rand said that the Captain's Reserve is part of the core range, finished in cognac barrels.
Oh,
and says it was flatter than a drive across the prairies.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Glenlivet, I've never had something from them that I've liked.
Really?
Yeah,
Not
no,
even the Nadora, whatever the cast strength ones.
no, I haven't had those ones yet. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I need a cast strength.
And even those, it's not like it wouldn't be my first choice, but
Yeah.
I've tried 3 or 4 of those, and it's they're more to my liking
Yeah.
than the rest. But I'd rather have Glenfiddich than
That's what
Glenfiddich.
I think. Like, okay, so here's a question: what's your favorite Glenfiddich?
There's a bunch that I'm really curious to try. I
Well,
like
out of what you've tasted and remember, what currently would be your go-to? If you had to pick of all the ones you've tried, which one would you pick up?
probably still the Fire and Cane. I think would be a go-to. You know what? I did actually kind of like the Glenlivet Code. Come to think of it,
that's something
We still need to try that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna table that.
yeah. Scotch Test Dummies, the Glenfiddich XX.
Oh, the Project XX. Yeah, that's pretty good too.
Yeah, I haven't had that one yet, but I've heard great things, so I'm been curious to try it. Yeah,
the XX is good because the one port barrel that the Canadian rep picked out for that blend.
Right. Yeah.
It's very porty. 20 casks, 1 port barrel, and it took over.
I'd say surprisingly, a dash of water did actually help this red spot a little bit. It's bringing out a little more of the sherry and marsala. Like, you could kind of tell that stuff was present before, but it does open it up a little bit. I still can't say that I feel like I would still rather have green spot is what I'm trying to say. Or yellow spot. Yellow spot's good too. So, Eric Waite's having to take off. Have a good night, sir. Glad to have you in.
Always a good time.
I'd probably say the 15, Glenlivet 15 would be my pick out of the range that I've had.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had that one either. I think those two they're kind of these brands that, for the most part, I kind of pass them over because they're sort of ubiquitous, right? Like they're sort of like staples, and I assume probably incorrectly, but I make an assumption that they're sort of mass produced or something, right? If that makes sense. Like it's
not that there's less care given to it, but they're made with the idea that we're gonna flatten down everything and make it approachable to get.
Yeah, it's made for mass appeal. It's made in larger volumes, etc. And that doesn't tend to appeal to me, but that's probably a silly reason to dismiss something, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just a weird psychological thing. You know, if it feels too like industrial or whatever, it just turns you off from it.
This whiskey isn't enough of a special unicorn for me.
Snobs.
All right. So where are we at? We are past the 80-minute mark. Shall we call it a night?
I guess so. I didn't really have anything. We were going to say real quickly that we've talked about and been asked about different types of merchandise. We've had requests for things like T-shirts, coins, glasses, even the now famous Omni cork.
Yes. We have our tech team working on that as we speak. Figure out the Omni cork.
Right.
As professionally as we can. That's why it's taking a little bit of time.
Right. So we're talking to some folks. Actually, so the logo that we have right now is kind of a placeholder, just to have something to get started. But we're talking to some folks about working up a more sort of permanent logo, and then that can be applied to some merchandise. So things like that are in the works right now, in the early stages.
Yeah, 'cause we never expected to get to this point.
No. As we've said before, we were totally just doing this like on a weekly basis, if at least. So
yeah.
And then we said, why don't we just do this in front of people on the internet?
So yeah, so that's look out for the stuff like that. follow us on Facebook, and you'll be the first to know.
Yeah. Follow us on Facebook. Vito's really kind of the king of managing the social media and holding our feet to fire on a schedule.
Yeah, there's a new schedule too. I'll post that on the Facebook thing so you guys know when to expect videos from us.
So organized.
I made a spreadsheet.
Yeah. Nerd.
I'm a nerd. Where's my nerd hat? I should get a nerd hat. I'm gonna get one of those twirly ones.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You know, my boss actually, because I'm one of the like smart guy engineer types at the office, right? He will actually tell people that he's going to have one of his propeller heads in the back and take a look at it. So you could be our propeller head.
Sure, no problem. And sorry, Lisa. I should say how to find us on Facebook and Twitter. It's at the Cast Strength. Because I know how to answer questions and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll call it a night.
I suppose. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with us, and we enjoyed hanging out with you. We'll come up with a sign off eventually, but in the meantime, be kind to each other.
I didn't die.
Cheers.
Yay!
Hooray!
Cheers. Oh, I did forget that was missed though. Have a good night.